When it comes to Talk no Jutsu, everyone's made the memes about Naruto preaching sermons to his enemies and making them see the error of their ways, but not all Talk no Jutsu is the same. While you do have Naruto, who is quick to find that common ground to pull on the heartstrings of anybody who's listening, you also have the Talk no Jutsu that Madara, Pain, and Obito used on Naruto that was an absolute mind blower in terms of how well they were able to carefully spin webs of half-truths, and through their lies and deceits they were able to make their targets believe their words. In the case of Obito Uchiha, his usage of this method was good enough that even Madara complimented him and saying that he was almost beginning to sound like him. While many of you guys might name Obito's Talk no Jutsu on Naruto after Neji died and say that this is the best example of Obito's Talk no Jutsu, in today's edition of Sasuke Gen Raiden, I'm going to share new information for a lot of you guys that will absolutely change your thoughts on this topic to the point where you're going to put Obito's words to Sasuke regarding the truth about Itachi as his best example of Obito's Talk no Jutsu being oh so buttery smooth when it comes to delivery. For those of you guys who are new, Sasuke Gen Raiden is a Naruto novel set in the Naruto Shippuden timeline, and if you want more information about this novel, go to the homepage, head to the Naruto novel section of the homepage, click on the Sasuke Gen Raiden playlist in order to learn more about what happened prior to this scene, as well as where in the timeline this is placed. Now, getting back to it, I think we all can agree that when Obito told Sasuke about the Uchiha clan's dirty truth, and that the brother that Sasuke had just killed wasn't that bad of a guy as Sasuke believed, all this new information absolutely destroyed Sasuke mentally. In the manga, we see his eyes widening, he's got convulsions, he's sweating, he's having panic attacks, all on the manga panels, and it's so bad that Obito has to remind Sasuke to take a moment to breathe. Red was now orange, black was now white, evil was now good. Sasuke's whole world was flipped upside down, and with this new info from the light novel, we get a full glimpse into how destroyed Sasuke's mind truly was. And even if you hate Sasuke, you're gonna be in a situation where you feel very sympathetic towards him. Another thing of note is the fact that Sasuke's mind was so shattered that the man came even closer than we realized to not only believing Obito, but outright almost joining the Akatsuki as an official member and not as an affiliate. In the scene I'm going to share with you guys, Sasuke has had a dream where his mind is being warped with the memories of Itachi, the guilt that he feels from killing Itachi after hearing the truth about Itachi, about how Konoha backed Itachi into a corner and how Itachi suffered so much up to that point to his death. Everything has spun Sasuke out of control. His dreams have now given him the feeling that Itachi is haunting him, and he himself is being hunted down by beasts inside of his dream, and a boy appears in front of him wearing a mask. Sasuke had previously seen a crow earlier in this dream, where the crow manifested out of nowhere, which is another sign that Itachi had been on Sasuke's mind. Sasuke finds himself having a conversation with the boy in the mask, and in the scene we're going to go over today, that is something that should stand out to you guys. So the boy in the mask is a symbol for Sasuke's consciousness, and this is a really important war that's going on. So the part of him that is still stuck in a tug of war on both sides is very key here. The part of him that refuses to believe Obito's words and can still be won over by Konoha if somebody reached out to him, that part of Sasuke is extremely skeptical of Obito's words, and part of him also doubts that the man who's claiming to be Madara Uchiha is actually the real Madara Uchiha. That side of Sasuke is going up against the other side of him, which is the side that's been won over by Obito's words to the point where he truly believes that the man wearing the mask is Madara Uchiha, and that he only wants what's best for the Uchiha clan. It's not that hard to believe that a 16-year-old Sasuke who's had extreme pride in his clan for a long time has been sweet-talked by a man who was presenting himself as being a tragic hero, the sole person who saw the demise of the Uchiha clan decades before it happened and tried to warn the clan and was ostracized by the clan. Sasuke believes Obito's words so much so that the concept of joining the Akatsuki outright hadn't been ruled out by this young Uchiha, even though Obito never formally offered Sasuke the opportunity to join Akatsuki. Sasuke's already considering it. Seemingly, everything that Obito had planned was right on track to come true. Itachi's Amaterasu was sealed in Sasuke's eye. It hadn't killed Obito when the jutsu was activated after he saw a Sharingan. Obito had convinced Sasuke that he was the real Madara, and Sasuke was spinning out of control from the information about Itachi. The boy, who Obito hoped to one day use as a backup for Nagato, was coming along nicely just as he had hoped. However, Sasuke did the one thing that he has always done in the manga, which is when presented with new information, he goes over the intel, tries to find the hidden meaning behind the hidden meaning, and then formulates his planned actions. In this case, it's his own subconscious that is turning him into the Sasuke that we saw, who awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan and eventually attacked the 5 Kage. With the scene and the context finally being provided, it's here I'm going to begin reading parts of the passages from the novel, and then I'm going to come back to you guys with my thoughts, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Itachi is dead. Nobody knows the truth. If that man was really Madara Uchiha, what need would he have to tell it to you? Maybe it's because you're a member of the Uchiha clan, said the boy. Some way I brought out my voice. Madara's goal is the revival of the Uchiha clan. Do you really think that? The boy said. There's more. 16 years ago, Madara managed to take control over the Nine-Tailed Fox, forcing it to attack the Leaf. But Madara denies that. But let's assume it was him who was behind the Nine-Tailed Fox's attack. His goal is the revival of the Uchiha. Don't you think it's strange that he revealed to you the truth on Itachi with such sense of timing? Supposing it was true, I mean. What are you getting at? I had said. I mean that probably he could have revealed it to you long before, said the boy, whose red pupils were now glinting under the mask. If he had done it, you wouldn't have had to fight against Itachi, or at least you wouldn't have confronted it in that way. Try to think about it. Itachi willingly let you defeat him to become the hero of the village. If Madara's goal had been the revival of the Uchiha clan, he wouldn't have revealed it to you for sure. If you had come to know the truth about Itachi, probably you wouldn't have agreed to take on the role of hero. And yet, if you had become the hero of the village, the revival of the Uchiha could have been quickly realized too. That man, however, told you the truth just when you defeated Itachi. For what purpose? What is his endgame? I had a big mess inside of my head, and I couldn't phrase my thoughts properly. Which is Madara's goal? I asked the boy. The boy's voice and Madara's voice overlap. It's not to protect you, that's for sure. And it isn't the revival of the Uchiha clan too. The beast around me began laughing. Why? Why are you saying this? Why? You're so full of whys. Answer my question, I shouted. If Madara only cared about reviving the Uchiha, he wouldn't need to rise up against the Leaf. It would be enough for him to build a new village with his own supporters, the boy had said. And it was just like he had said. Why are you explaining all this to me? I asked. You still have so many whys. Why? Just answer me, I shouted. I'm not explaining. Here we are. I am you. You are me. All the things I said to you, you've already known them for a long time, the boy said. This is a dream of mine, I asked. We could say so as we could say not, the boy replied. Don't avoid the question, I shouted. I'm not avoiding anything. Here we are in the depths of your consciousness, and if you feel like calling it a dream, do as you please. In the depths of your consciousness. Exactly. My sight clouded over. If you're a byproduct of my consciousness, then I can do anything to you, I said. I kept staring at the boy with the mask. With that Sharingan, it's still impossible. What do you mean? Until you understand the world in which we are, you won't get rid of me. Then, turning his gaze up, he told me, look up to the sky. Shining in the night sky, there was no more moon, but there was just a huge Sharingan. From that eye that was staring motionless, bloody tears gushed out of it. Itachi is crying inside of you. What did you think this reason is? And after a pause, he continued, the reason is that you haven't understood a thing of this world. You're still ignorant. What do you mean? I can't understand my dream. Itachi can't rest in peace. I asked. The boy paused before he replied. Now, I have a question to ask. Madara is a dangerous man. Fire manipulates the others into imposing his will. For peace. For the Uchiha. For Itachi. For you. He even came to hide the truth about Itachi and make you fight. Just what is his goal? Increasing more and more of the hatred that you're feeling? Why would he do that? The boy asked. I was listening silently. You always try to vent your hate. Now that Itachi's dead, although you understood you were manipulated by Madara, you're trying to direct your grudge against the Leaf. Come on, let's hear. What's your true nature? What do you get out of this? My true nature, I asked. Between being controlled by others and control the others according to your own will, there's a huge difference. What will your true self do from now on? The boy asks. Stop talking as if you know everything. The beasts laughed, one after the other. They gave out a howl that spread into the distance. Until you understand this meaning, it will be impossible for you to get out of this black dream. Remember, I am you. I'm Itachi. I'm the only witness that watched accurately the greatness in the descendants of the Uchiha clan. Those are the last words of the masked boy. The moment after the black dream deformed itself, just like a puzzle, it started crumbling into 1,000 pieces, mixed in a vortex. The fragments turned into 1,000 crows and disappeared into the air. End quote. So what should really stand out here is that Sasuke's own subconscious lays it out flat for him. Do not trust this guy who's claiming to be Madara Uchiha. It causes him to replay Obito's words in his head and then replay the events of the Uchiha massacre. Sasuke's going over every detail in his memory to look for anything that seems out of place. His gut says that the man who claimed to be Madara is right, but his mind tells him that there are details that haven't been shared yet and that this was only a more partial truth, but he didn't have anything concrete to base his theory on. When his consciousness asks him, why would a man who claimed to be Madara Uchiha flat out tell you that he's Madara, it should make you recall Yahiko's words when Obito first approached the trio in the Rain Village. Yahiko was skeptical and Sasuke went to the same conclusion. The name of Madara Uchiha is powerful, just as the name itself will strike fear into the hearts of those who hear it. So why not use it if you're a random person, especially when you don't have to show your face? Just the name Madara itself will scare people. When Sasuke tries to rationalize that Madara wants to restore the Uchiha clan, look how quickly his subconscious goes to Sasuke and drops the breadcrumbs. Sasuke was the one who wanted to restore the Uchiha clan, not the man claiming to be Madara. Nowhere in that long monologue about the truth about the Uchiha clan did Obito ever say anything about restoring the clan. That was Sasuke wanting to believe that the man who claimed to be Madara wanted the same thing as Sasuke. It was his way of bargaining with himself to make him believe everything, which something does make sense. Sasuke is grieving at this point. He had just killed his brother and he had just learned the truth about his brother. He needs to believe that there is something tangible here, something at the end of all this that he can make as an excuse to say that everything was worth it. I killed my brother who wasn't evil, but I restored the clan with the guy who tried to warn the clan that they're being played. My brother was a direct casualty of the clan not heeding Madara's words. It's Sasuke's way of jumping through so many logic loopholes in order to make sense out of everything. The line where he says, look at the timing, is very telling. It wasn't lost on Sasuke's subconscious that Itachi, if everything that the masked man said was true, loved Sasuke so much that he went out of his way to protect him. If that's true, why did Itachi feel the need to put an Amaterasu inside of Sasuke's eyes to kill this man? Was it just to prevent Sasuke from hearing the truth about the Uchiha clan, or was there another reason? Was this man truly evil? He even asked him, why would the man who says he's Madara not approach you sooner and tell you the truth? If Sasuke knew the truth, he wouldn't fight and kill Itachi. That's when his subconscious takes things a step further and points out something that I've said before. Sasuke could have been won over by Konoha if they reached him before Obito. His subconscious says, you could have gone back to Konoha, you could have been celebrated as a hero, and you could have revived the clan. That's the fastest way to get from point A to Z, but this man named Madara shows up and tells you all this information very conveniently now, and reaching your goal is going to take a lot longer if you go along with this plan. What we're seeing right here is that Sasuke's at a total breaking point. He knows that something isn't right. He is struggling to think straight, and Sasuke's making it a point to tell himself, this doesn't make sense. Why didn't Madara just make a brand new village after the Uchiha clan were blamed for the Kyuubi attack? Why did he feel the need to help Itachi slaughter the clan? Sasuke's mind overlaps the voices of his subconscious and Obito's voice to a point where he even tries to cut his Sharingan on in order to fight back, but it's to no avail. After all, how can you fight yourself? That's where we're going to end this installment of Sasuke Jin Raiden, and I gotta say, where we're going from here is going to be very important for Sasuke's character arc, because we're going to start taking even further steps towards Sasuke becoming the Sasuke Uchiha that you guys know. So what I want to know from you guys is, how do you feel about Sasuke being in a fragile enough state of mind that he almost joined the Akatsuki outright, and the idea of returning to Konoha to be a hero to the Leaf Village that still crossed his mind after everything that he had learned? Let me know down in the comment section below, but as always, guys, if you have anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.